One question I have for the elders is, how did they fish back in the olden days?
Yeah, it's so different when you fish um, from a boat to ice fishing to riding and to jigging. Um, I grew up, like I said, with my family. My dad was a fisherman, but he was a jigger. So he only used nets at a certain time in the year. The rest of the summer, he was a jigger. So a jigger had um, very long, lots of line and a big hook with two, like a W-shaped thingy, and they would fish for codfish. And the codfish, I could tell you, when I was small, was big as I am. The heads was huge. That was jigging fishermen. Net fishermen, they go set a net, come back in a few hours or the next day, and they haul in their nets by hand, get their fish that way. The trawling boats are very difficult to work with because they do this for commercial fishery. They have they have quotas. So with a quota, they only have so much to catch in a certain amount of time. And then there's fishing just for pleasure, like I do. I can walk for miles and miles and go to my fishing ground and just rod all day. I can rod all day, take some water.
And the peace and quiet.
Yeah, peace and quiet. That's how I like it. That's one of my hobbies. Yeah.
That's the same like for angling. That's what we call it, angling. You find a quiet spot along the river where there's just birds singing and animals calling or whatever, and sit there. I could have sat there all day too, like she says, and just fishing, and the water's ebbing along, and it's just peace and quiet. It's just you're just with nature. You're a part of nature at that time. You know, it's just.
I done this before I came here to Picosas.
Yeah.
I wake up at 5 in the morning and I take my walk with my rod.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gone till 8 or 9 o'clock in the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as it gets dark, then I start walking home with my fish.
Yeah. And then when you get into commercial fishing, well, that's
Different
totally
story.
different. That's well, the not myself. I was just a little kid when the guys used to go from here to Hay River. There was a guy from Hay River that was originally from Winnipegosis area here, and he had a commercial license on Hay River to fish at Hay River, but they fished on the lake, like what's the lake called? The big lake is Great Slave. Yeah. They were fishing there, and he was a winter commercial fisherman. Yeah. He would get guys from here to go there and help him fish. Right? They said, like, in them days they didn't have ice augers or you used a chisel like this and a shovel and like I seen pictures of guys standing up to their knees in that hole, and they're still trying to get down to where their nets are. You know, it was really hard work in them days to fish with.
I would really like to know how they put the net between the two holes in the springtime. So you know how do you get that out of the hole?
Well, to put the net, like you use a jigger, like
okay.
It's a mechanical thing that a piece of it's made out of wood. It's homemade. In fact, we had a guy here that used to make the jiggers for years and years. He just passed on last year, and but it's a piece of wood, and it has picks on it, and you tie a string on it. You have a running line for 100 yards. You measure how long your nets are. So you tie it on the back of that jigger, and you stand there, and you go like this, and that thing will crawl under the ice for 100 yards. You have that line marked, and you bang it like that. You pull it till it goes to 100 yards. Then you gotta pull on that string a few times, and the guy over there is listening all over, and finally hears where that kicking sound is down there. Then you start cutting a hole there, and you grab that line, you hook that line up, and hook another line on that jigger and keep going. That net, that other line is under the ice, so you hook your net on it, and another guy pulls the net under the ice.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is the character that it builds. Patience, dedication, appreciation, and awareness of the nature around it. Like you say, he loves the peace and the quietness around it. And that's being aware of your surroundings and appreciating the nature in itself. And to sit there all day and cast nothing, that's patience. You know, just, I have a grandson that loves fishing, and he would sit there and intricately put a lure on, just carefully, and it's amazing. And they say, you know, teach a boy to fish, he'll never go hungry. And I believe that. And he loves fish.
You can do it with a girl too.
Yeah, a lot of girls fish.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our elders are our wisdom holders and storytellers. They hold our culture in their hearts and pass along our traditions from generation to generation. It is important as youth to always listen, respect, and learn from our elders.